What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? Sombre del Piso here, back once again. Today, I want to talk about semen retention, right? I know I've been posting videos about London. You know, I've been planning to post videos about Portugal. I know currently I'm enjoying a little pop, a little sucker. Pause. I gotta enjoy candy when I can, right? Anyway, I know I've been doing everything besides talk about what really is responsible for my maturity in the first place. So we're gonna talk more about that, especially today. We're gonna talk about how semen retention sort of enacts a manipulation of the physical plane from the remodeled subconscious, right? What does that mean, some of that piece? I know you guys are wondering, what the hell am I even talking about, right? Check this out. With the practice of semen retention, right? We already went over, I don't know if I went over what it is basically, right? Literally, but semen retention is the act of retaining your semen and letting it sort of nourish the body. This is only for males, obviously. But it's about nourishing the body, nourishing the brain, and developing a sort of spiritual connection, something that feels a little ethereal, right? Something beyond the physical. You feel a connection with your idea of the divine, your idea of the creator, and you try to adjust your ways of being in accordance with that creator's will. Today, I'm going into an aspect of semen retention where with this practice, after I say, well, remember, I always say minimum 2-3 months before you actually start seeing tangible results creeping into your life. And when I talk about 2 to 3 months, it's solo retention, right? You are not oogling at women. You are not peeking at, the adult entertainment videos. You are only retaining and retaining and transmuting that energy that it's built up for whatever daily work you guys partake in, whether it be for financials or other stuff, right? So after the 2-3 months, you guys will start to, because it happened for me. All of this is just my experience and what I've also heard from a lot of people based on their stories on, various threads. So after 2 to 3 months, you start to develop a sort of change in your goals, right? Maybe you have an idea of what you would like to do when you started retention, and then 2-3 months afterwards, that goal starts to change in your mind. That is the power of semen retention. And sometimes you feel like you're not going to be gaining any ground per se. You're not going to be getting any closer to your goals if you're incredibly staunch about realizing and fulfilling them. So with this practice as well, I found it very helpful that you have to have a metaphysical approach to the way that you pursue those goals of yours. 2 to 3 months in the practice, your semen retention is constantly restructuring your brain. It's restructuring your body. And as a result, remember the metaphysical laws, right? Say something along the lines of what you are is going to be produced upon the world. And that stuff, that we have to focus on that part, what you are. What is it? Is that a part of the brain? Yes, it is. It's the part that has to deal with the container of your subconscious, right? So your subconscious, remember, it's built upon what you consciously see, but at a later time, it becomes pushed into your subconscious. Now, on this practice, it's only natural that the more you restructure and repair your body and your brain, you start to produce different results in the physical world. And the more you see that new physical result, the more the changed reality is pushed into your subconscious, which will then be drawn upon in the practice to produce more and more of the results that you want. With semen retention, you tend to have much more deeper feelings, much more emotional responses to things. There's the instances of aggression, increased aggression that you might have with other people, or that could be translated and transmuted into assertiveness, listening to a favorite song of yours, and you are just swept by all the crescendos, the instruments, the tones, the lyrics. Everything has just much more of a suggestion on you. And this is because of this practice. Because you feel things much more deeply, much more emotionally, much more viscerally, much more spiritually. The imprint that those emotions are having on your conscious mind, which, as I explained earlier, will eventually be pushed with the passage of time to your subconscious, your reality will be that much greater. Think of it as a savings account that you are putting things into. You're putting money into it. Well, in this case, you are putting feelings, you're putting experiences. And the subconscious will consistently change that reality of yours, your waking reality, with the more experiences that you're putting into the conscious, which then gets drawn into the subconscious, which comes out. It's almost like some sort of the circle of semen retention life. That's how it works. The thing is, we have to get to this point. As a result, as how cellular regeneration works, cell division, the catalyst for cell division is just a biological imperative of the body, but it is also at the expense of the older cells. It's to give way to new cells to replace the old cells. As with semen retention, this circle of life, this circle of semen retention life, the gander at your actual world, the absorption of experiences in the conscious, the pushing of those experiences or aspects thereof into your subconscious, which then produces a new reality. These things are, as this process is happening, the old is consistently getting replaced, renewed, destroyed. And this is the part of the process that us retainers must be comfortable with, and we must go headfirst into this journey. There are events, situations that you will fall into that will completely take you out of your frame. There are traits of friends that you will enjoy, you would have enjoyed, but because you have went through this circle of semen retention life, this process of the constant renewal and development of the subconscious projection of the new reality, you now you're not excited about what your friends have to say. You are not excited about the things that used to serve the old you. You are only looking forward to the new, the greater, what can be. And because though, like I said, those emotions are amplified on semen retention, you are imprinting more and more on your subconscious to produce the reality that you truly desire. Of course, I've tersely explained this process. This takes a much longer period of time, but this is essentially the process of manipulation of the subconscious in order to create your reality. Semen retention is a very, very powerful practice, as I've explained earlier. Going through this process will inevitably produce results that could be utilized for everything. But remember, the body is something that is acclimating to its environment all the time, internal and external environment. There are essential vitamins that are being extracted from the semen retention practice that will develop the body, advance the body. Practice is almost as if you're consciously manipulating the physical plane. The thing is, you must consistently think about this. You must consistently think about your goals, the ideas, your plans for the future, your ambitions. You consistently think about it, and then eventually you're hammering a very, very dull nail. The duller the nail is, just so I can explain the metaphor much more accurately, the weaker your semen retention practice is. The deeper you get into your semen retention practice, the sharper the nail becomes. And with the consistent application of that thought, your ambitions, your goals, you are hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering it in until it becomes lodged. You can't wake up without thinking about your ambition. I want to talk about this process of the manipulation of the physical plane, what semen retention will ultimately do to your psyche. You see, As you're consistently producing this circle of semen retention life, I like that name, you're putting the body through an incredibly traumatic experience, because as the body acclimates to the experience that it has been shown consistently over and over, because you've been off the semen retention practice, now gonna be thrown these curveballs of experiences, these curveballs of emotions. Well, remember, in a few weeks of strict semen retention practice, your emotions are incredibly amplified. And by feeling something that you haven't felt, the body has not felt, in however long you've been off the practice, most cases for males, it's been years, you start to produce a reality that is akin to getting splashed with cold water. It's incredibly shocking to the body, and it's gonna be scary at first, but there needs to be a consistency. You need to stay on point with this practice and allow it to renew your subconscious, clear out all the clutter, the nonsense the subconscious is bombarded with. Social media feeds, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever you call it now, WhatsApp feeds now, Telegram, all that nonsense. It needs to be cleared out with new material, good, uplifting, developmental material, such as reading books on Marcus Aurelius or Dante Alighieri, Bret Easton Ellis, Homer, Aldous Huxley, self-development books, reading the Bible, the Mahabharata, the Rig Veda, Poetic Edda. You renew your subconscious. As a result, you are gonna produce everything that you have come in contact with into the physical plane. You are thereby creating your reality. And that is all I have to say today. Later this week, I'm gonna create a couple more videos about this topic, but different facets thereof. And of course, please follow me, Sombra del Piso, at Instagram, which is at Advent Stars, or Twitch, which is at Minty Pinto. Thanks to you guys for listening and tuning in. And like always, stay radiant.